How y'all doing this morning? I hope you all having a wonderful Christmas season. We're gonna do a pork butt this morning. When we get started on one, I'm gonna let it cook low and slow all day. So I got about a 8-pound butt. See down here, just the like I said, pork butt, Boston shoulder roast. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this unwrapped. I'm gonna get it patted dry, and I'm gonna show y'all what we're gonna do with it, prepare it to start cooking. All right. I took my pork roast, or my Boston butt, and I unwrapped it, and I washed it off, and I dried it off good in my sink. And before I did that, I did wash my sink out with soap and water, everything. The first step, what you want to do after that, after it's dried off, you want to just take some yellow mustard, and we're going to coat it, give it a little coating in yellow mustard. And this won't affect the flavor. This is just to get this rub to stick on there. So don't worry about it if you don't like mustard. I don't really like mustard myself, this yellow kind of mustard. So you just rub this on here on both sides and get a nice little coating. It's going to help that that rub to stick on here nice and good. Alright, now that I got that mustard on there, I got some rub, and this is just my normal rub that I use that I make myself every once in a while and put up in the freezer. Big bag of it. It's got a brown sugar, paprika, a little bit of chili powder, salt, garlic powder, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna take it and just rub it all over this this pork here. You just want to get a good coating on the back, on the sides, everywhere. And like I said, this mustard is really helping this stuff to stick. You just got to make sure you cover it all on this. And this fat cap here on the back, you definitely want to leave that on there. Some people talk about cutting that off. You do not want to do that. I'm going to leave that on there because that's going to really, it's just going to melt down, because we're going to cook this thing a long time. Cook about 8 hours. And that's just going to give a lot of flavor. Go ahead and finish rubbing all this rub on there. And it's just really getting into the pork and getting all these little crevices and stuff like that. Stand upright. Get all down in there. Alright. Now to got that done, I'm fixing to transfer it on over to the pot. Alright, we got it in the crock pot right there. Gonna go ahead and put the lid on, and we'll set this thing on low for 8 hours. So 8 hours from now, we'll take it out, and it'll be real good tender, and we'll just pull apart and done. Well, this pork butt's been cooking for about 10 hours now, and I believe it's done. What I do normally to test, I go ahead and pull on this bone, and if this bone will come right out, there it is. Look, that bone just come right out of there. You know it's done. So I'm going to transfer it to this pot over here. Yeah, see if I can grab without it all falling apart, which is just so fall apart tender. Let's see. Oh man, it'll fall apart. Probably have to get out in a couple of pieces. There's the first piece. There's a couple more big pieces in here. So I'm just going to lower ahead, and I'm going to let it cool in here a little bit. Cover it with foil. Then we'll pull it apart and make a little barbecue sauce for it. Put it on top. Alright, meanwhile, while I covered up the pork with the foil, I went ahead and strained this stock out, all this juice out of that pot. I'm going to let this cool, and this fat's going to separate, and scoop a fat off the top, and we'll have some good stock here for next time. Alright, now if the meat has had time to cool off some of the pork, and go ahead and just take your 2 forks. What I do is I get the rest of the fat off, stuff like that, and I just put that in an extra plate over there, give that to the dogs or something, and then you just take your forks and you just pull it apart. We'll put some sauce on a little bit later and be ready to serve. You make your sandwiches and all kind of good stuff out of it. Great little barbecue pork. I mean, it's just real easy to do, and look how tender it is. Just fork tender right there. Real good stuff. Alright, now as you see, I pulled some apart right here and put it on the side. Next step I like to do is just pour a little of this homebrew barbecue sauce right there over the top. Just make it perfect. And go ahead and let that sit for a few minutes, sit over there on the counter and call everybody in to come make some sandwiches with this nice fresh pulled pork and some of my homemade barbecue sauce. It's really good.